I'm not giving a negative statement. Always keep this in mind that whenever this type of profit comes to any business, so many people, they enter into that business Taj. Every month, I think they are introducing two properties. ITC, they have got big plans for new hotels. Harriet and the foreign brands also, they are entering in hospitality sector in a big way. So ultimately, demand and supply, now it is in favor of hospitality sector. Many hotels, the quality of service has.
So that I agree. I absolutely agree with you.
In 5-star hotels, quality of service has gone down. Out of overgrade, maybe that they are playing this game different. And that is the caution I advise. Nobody will listen to my advice because greed takes over.
Welcome to the second episode of Break It Down with Dhanuka Sir. Dhanuka Sir is the founder of Millennium Mams, which is a non-profit organization aimed at promoting financial literacy amongst women. Dhanuka Sir is a philanthropist, a very successful investor, and a passionate teacher. Today's episode, called Hospitality Insights, is a deep dive into the hospitality sector. So, we're waiting to hear your views on this sector. So, I need your valuable advice on this hospitality sector.
Don't tell me. I know that you have entered into one of the company at a very attractive price and you are sitting on that investment till now. So, you should know, Kunti, that hospitality sector is a matter of demand and supply. And for that matter, everything depends upon demand and supply. Unfortunately, investors, they look at the demand only, whether in cement or hotel or steel. But if supply is greater than demand, the price has to fall. Now, what is happening? Because of that pent-up demand, people are traveling a lot and they are spending a lot also. That is a good news. But this good news cannot continue for eternity. Ultimately, pent-up demand will end. So, normalcy will take care of the business. What is the normal thing? That hospitality sector will grow definitely, but always keep this in mind that whenever this type of profit comes to any business, so many people, they enter into that business, and same thing is happening in hospitality.
Right.
Taj. Every month, I think they are introducing two properties. ITC, they have got big plans for new hotels. Harriet and the foreign brands also, they are entering in hospitality sector in a big way. So ultimately, demand and supply, now it is in favor of hospitality sector, but at some point of time, it will be reversed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because demand will pick up, but not to match with the supply. Because supply will be more and demand will be less, the profit has to fall. I'm not giving a negative statement because it may continue for a few years, whether it will continue. But at some point of time, I think investors should know that this is a cyclical industry. And cycle, what happens? That whenever the demand is very high, the company or the sector tends to make huge money. And that prompts other companies or new people also that join the sector. And mostly they spoil the party. Because ultimately, this is a very common sensical thing, na?
Yes.
We, unfortunately, investors, we look at demand. The infrastructure is booming, cement demand is huge, but supply is also huge, no? Supply is also huge.
Absolutely.
So always, Kunti, keep these two words in mind, demand and supply. You will never lose money in stock market. Demand and supply. Demand is high, supply is less. the companies will make more profit or reverse. So this you should keep in mind. I am not saying that it will happen tomorrow because new hotels, it takes time to come up. It will take 2-3 years. Then another factor which favors certain companies is the brand.
Yes.
Whenever we are paying 20,000-30,000 rupees per night ka room rate, we want to be sure that we will get all the facilities. So, if you calculate the number of brands available in India, there are very few. Taj, Leela, Oberoi, Marriott, then, few more. So, this gives this sector an upper hand. Not this sector, these companies as an upper hand. And this sector is growing in so many areas.
Yes, so because now they are also growing using the asset light model.
Yes.
So I wanted to know what is your opinion on this?
The asset light model is a fantastic model, but it is, I believe, that overrated. Because say ultimately, if you find out the Taj Mahal hotel ka present depreciated price, you'll be shocked. It may be 1 lakh, 2 lakh or 1 crore. Because everything is depreciated. Na?
Right.
The land price is appreciating, the rates are appreciating, and in book, the value is depreciating. So that also one should keep in mind that generally, very fashionable word nowadays, asset light.
A lot of companies are using this
Exactly.
word.
But I believe that along with asset light model, they should create the asset also. You must have heard the word asset inflation. How they'll take the benefit of that asset inflation? So asset light is good, but not sufficient. So what I suggest that out of the profit, and they are doing also, out of the profit which they are making, or maybe some debt or equity, they should create asset. Because say, in Calcutta, I can tell you, Taj Bengal, you cannot build another hotel in that area because land is not available. It is not a matter of money. Land is not available. In Bombay also, the location of so many hotels, you cannot put up hotel there. Your land is not available. So that gives them a big upper hand that they raise rate. I don't remember, but say, if I used to stay in Taj 10, 20 years back, the rate was 4,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees. Now the same Taj, they are charging 30,000. What has changed? What has changed? Because asset is there as it is, no?
The fact is that they are asset rich.
Exactly. So asset light is good. I know that so many investors, they don't like my saying this, but that is, you should create asset not by taking big debt. That was another mistake they were doing. I don't want to name the company, but so many hotel companies, they were doing this. They were creating asset by taking more and more and more loan. And during dull period, they are not able to, serve the asset, service that asset. So it should be a mix of two.
A right balance between the two.
And you know better.
Yes.
Like say, the Pensy Road, 20 years back, what would have been the rate? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So if there was a hotel there, 20 years ago it was built. So now say, they are getting unnecessary that benefit. I'm in that bracket of asset must be created wherever you want. And the second option or third option may be asset light. But I don't know why it is a very fashionable word.
Yes, because sir, what is happening is that now all the hotels, they are also renting out bungalows owned by individuals, and they have that sort.
Interest is Janvi Kapoor, no?
Oh, so so that's one bungalow I would like to go and stay at. So what they are doing is they are renting out bungalows and vintage houses, and they are revamping them, they're refurbishing them and using them as hotels. That's the Ama Stays and Trails.
Yes, so that is creating additional supply. You should keep this in mind, na? Because so many bungalows and this homestay, etc., that is coming up. That is creating another little bit of negative for hospitality. Little bit of
It's
negative.
ironic or paradoxical that the industry is itself killing itself
That what
by excess supply.
always in the cyclical industry, it happens. So I'm giving an example of cement industry. A cement industrialist, they decide that for the next 10 years, we will not put up any capacity. Can you imagine how much money they will make? Can you imagine? Because, the demand-supply gap will be huge and government cannot force. We are in a decoupled, decontrolled economy. Government cannot force, no? And you cannot import cement. So white cement will not be sold at 800 rupees a bag. But because of the greed that I should make bigger money than other company, they put up the new capacity. And as you said correctly, they kill their own business.
And now they even want to enter into real estate. Like there are the hotel companies are tying up with builders and they're building apartments in a joint venture. So you have something happening in Chennai with IHCL, you have something happening in Bangalore with Leela. So there are a lot of these sort of joint ventures. So the diversification is happening beyond just hospitality, sir.
I don't agree to this type of diversification. You should. I don't know what is happening abroad, but you should focus on your core area.
Which is
Core area, which is hospitality, because you cannot enter into everything, and that is another problem. That when you are making big profit, you want to go into everything. So that should be avoided because when you have got expertise, and I tell you one more thing, this is called service industry. It is not a building industry, na? So where from you will get the people? Yes. This will be the biggest challenge in the next 2 to 3 years, if it is not already today.
Challenge, right?
Yes. So where from you will get the people? All of a sudden, all these institutes, hotel training institute, they cannot create people. And another thing, Kunti, that now youngsters, they are so expert that they have got other avenues also. One of my manager's son, he did his course from Goa, and he joined some good hotel. And within 6 months, he just said, I will not be standing there for 8 to 10 hours. I will find another avenue. And he is earning much more than that, much more money than that. So the dynamics have changed. You cannot depend upon the old system, and in this competitive market where everyone wants to make more money, so ultimately the employee also understands that. So they will jack up their rate, na?
Yes.
So you have to be careful. And I don't know whether I should say this, in many hotels, the quality of service has gone down.
So that I agree. I absolutely agree with you.
In 5-star hotels, quality of service has gone down. Then ultimately they have to pay the price. Because when you are paying 3,000 rupees per head for the lunch, you expect a certain level of service.
Yes. When you go to a 5-star, you expect a 5-star standard. A particular level has to be maintained.
And this service industry is growing in many areas. Like the people who are organize the events, like marriage also. There they need so much of talent. Then medical tourism, spiritual tourism. So everywhere, all of a sudden, there is a big need for the people.
The skilled labor, sir.
Skilled labor. And this cannot be created by pushing the button. Same thing is happening in this airlines industry. There will be shortage of pilots and air hostesses. So this hospitality industry should keep this in mind. You ultimately, if you lose the brand value,
Yes.
you lose it for a very long time. हाँ, because hospitality में तो यही है ना कि I choose not to stay in this hotel, I can go to another hotel. तो आप तो गए. And I have heard from so many people that quality of service is going down.
Sir, not only quality of service, but also quality of rooms, because in the older hotels, it is very difficult to renovate or refurbish a room when you have an occupancy. So as a result, we feel that when you're paying 30,000 for a room and you enter a room where, the furnishing is not up to the mark, up to a 30,000 mark, and that is where the dissatisfaction comes in.
100%. You are 100% right. The only option is to demolish the hotel and construct a new, which is the right way. Yes, which is the right way. Because ultimately nobody will pay 30,000. Ultimately, the hotel will get a bad name. Because say, if a hotel is situated in Cup Palette, so you can understand the value, the asset value of that hotel. So if you demolish that hotel, it's a very bold decision, and make a new one, I tell you, they will make more money. But that
It will be like a short-term loss, but a long-term profit.
Exactly. Because, when you construct a hotel, next 40, 50 years, you will make continuously money. Then why to stick to a wrong property? That needs a very bold decision.
I'm sure. Yes, you're right, sir. And in fact, now there are so many different type of travels which are happening in India. You have your Wed in India.
That is the fantastic message and stern message given by the Prime Minister. That if you are not if you are wedding outside India, then you will be watched. You'll be watched. And that's why now every wedding is shifted to India.
And that is a lot of business for the hotel.
Lot of businesses, but one should be very, very careful about quality of service, whether it is wedding industry or otherwise. Your top man, he is not visiting that venue, no?
Yes. And now, in fact, with Ayodhya, the Ayodhya temple and religious and spiritual tourism also at its peak, we have not only the Indian tourists, we have a lot of foreign tourists also who are expected to visit India by in the next 2-3 years.
Exactly. Kunti, you're 100% right. I visited Ayodhya so many times. Can you imagine, on the bank of Saryu River, they create so many bungalows. So it will not be only spiritual tourism, it is spiritual come resort.
Yes.
So this will happen. This has to happen. Only thing, they should be very, very careful about the quality of service.
Yes. And also, right now, the government, with so much infrastructure developments happening, road accessibility, the tourists are able to reach spots like you have the Char Dham, you have Katra, which is on the way to Vaishnav Devi. So, since the government is creating is developing the infrastructure, there is a lot of scope for new hotels in these places.
Yes, and it is happening.
It is happening.
It is happening. Like say Taj, I think they have got 4 to 5, if not more, properties near Rishikesh. It is not Taj Rishikesh only. They have developed a unique property in Haridwar.
Yes.
So they have got 4 to 5 or 6 properties in that area of Rishikesh and Haridwar. So there is a huge demand, but only thing you should be careful about services, because this is service industry. And once you start getting the bad name, and once brand is destroyed or tarnished, it is very difficult to again develop the brand. Like say, once I was staying in some five-star hotel in Bangalore, okay, and all of a sudden there was no water coming in the toilet. So I don't care about their problem. I thought that I will never stay in this hotel again. But again, the courtesy shown by the general manager of that hotel, he took care right and left by supplying water one in bucket and this and that, then apologize and send a bottle of wine as a gesture. Otherwise, I would have rejected that hotel. Huh? I don't care about your problem. That's the bottom line. Huh? Because that may be a genuine problem, but I don't care. One of the industrialists connected with hotel, he mentioned in one of our talk in Millennium Ma'am that, I don't remember the number, that they have to take care of 80 to 100 items. And if one item fails, you're gone. Like the cistern is not working. Finished. बोला एक ही तो हुआ ना. हाँ. So छोटा item. Air conditioning is not good. This is not good. That is not good. So it's a very, in a way, tough industry.
Yes, because you need people who are in each skill to be there ready for the guests.
When I was staying in some hotel, I was so disgusted. He took 30 to 40 minutes to check in. Then I asked him, are you training? Well, yes. So why I should bother to stay in that hotel again? I rejected that hotel. That is not a good news. That is not, I am not alone. Na? Yes. So that you have to keep in mind that this is a service industry. Service industry thrives only on the manpower, human resource. And there, if there is a shortage of manpower, so attrition rate will also go up. Yes. Other person, they will offer double. So the person will leave. Now. So one should be this, I think this they are forgetting because of the greed, but one should keep in mind. Otherwise, the hotel industry worldwide, they are doing very well. And one of the reasons I believe is the locational advantage.
At the hotel.
Locational advantage. Like in Goa, you cannot build now hotel. I think you have to build 500 meters away from the sea.
And so there is nothing left even around the sea. It's absolutely filled with hotels.
So the hotel which are very close to the sea, always we want to stay there.
Yes, that is
so
our
they have
pride.
a strong locational advantage. Anywhere, Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Delhi, you cannot find a place like Taj Mahal, Mansingh. So that's why I said that asset light model is good, but not the best.
Yes. And I think even the hotels need to be cautious because as much as they are expanding, they also have to ensure that they have manpower and labor to service those hotels which they have constructed.
It's a mix of everything. It's a mix of services, mix of the location, mix of everything. Otherwise, you are taking a big risk. Like say, in Lakshadweep, our Prime Minister took two donkeys.
Yes, and Lakshadweep is strange.
So in Lakshadweep, again, it's a very difficult place to reach. Huh? So you have to take care of your staff, that they stay there for a longer period. It is not only that I start a hotel. And that is a big plus point for the established chain. Because they know the game. Yes. Whatever I'm talking, they know this game. They know this game. So, but out of over greed, maybe that they are playing this game differently. And that is the caution I advise. Nobody will listen to my advice because greed takes over. But ultimately...
So Millennium Ma'ams always listen to your advice and we always benefit when we listen to you.
Exactly. Because ultimately in any area of business, you should be very, very careful. Like I am very careful in Millennium Ma'ams. I will not deviate from the women-oriented organization because I get offered, why don't you train the male member or this and that? Nothing doing. Diversification doesn't mean that you go beyond your capacity. No. Simple. तो होटल में खाली आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा. I don't want to take names, but most of the hotel company, most of the hotel company, they suffered financial shocks.
I think especially during COVID times.
Before also, because they expand and expand and expand on the assumption that demand will be there permanently. And what happens? Then they have to sell, and the established player, they buy and they grow. The only the caution the established player should take that they are not on the same boat. Otherwise, hotel ka normal baat hai. Everyone enters hotel industry because it looks very simple. And when the demand supply mismatch happens, then they collapse. In Bombay also, why I should name that one hotel was closed now
Yes.
near airport.
Yes.
That is the part of the deal. Part of the deal, sustaining power financially. Number one. Then sustaining power because you want, you know the game. That if I expand too much, then you cannot maintain the service. And the whole brand will collapse. So you have to understand the game and control over the greed, which is the most important part in share market or any other market also.
But so that means that the entry point is very important, since you're saying the hotel industry is a cyclical industry.
You're talking about investment.
About investments, sir,
Entry and exit both.
in this sector.
Entry and exit both.
So
Because-
at what stage of this cycle are we in now, sir?
That is the bottom line that you want to understand. We don't know. We don't know because abhi to it is in a boom phase. How long it will continue? It cannot continue for a very, very long period. So the person has to take a personal call that entry point, if it is good, then exit point also should be good. Otherwise, maybe कागज का रुपया कागज में रह जाएगा.
Absolutely, yes, that is very true. But thank you so much. I think you've broken down this sector. You explained to us things and angles that we have never thought of whilst looking at this particular industry. You've broken down into real estate, into service, into branding, and how a combination of all this actually makes your hospitality
That's
industry.
very commonsensical thing, that what I mentioned. Huh? Everyone knows. But I have accumulated everything and presented.
In a
One
capsule,
episode.
a little. Yes. Thank you
my
so much, sir. It was really nice, and thank you for. It was definitely lovely insights on the hospitality sector that you shared with us,
My pleasure.
and I'm sure all our listeners will also benefit from this. And thank you once again.
Thank you.